It doesn't get any better. It isn't going to get any better.
Might as well start laughing now. The jokes don't get any better from here.
Drink more. That's if you're not amused, drink more. Coming to you from the Beer to Whiskey Studios and the taproom floor of Greenville Beer Exchange, or GBX, as the cool kids call it, on
I'm
Lawrence.
one of the cool kids.
No, well, neither am I. On Lawrence Street in magnificent downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps. Welcome to this episode of Big John and Five, and that's where I get my good buddy here, Big John Richards, to pick a beer from one of GBX's 22 or so taps, or hundreds of cans and bottles that are in the retail area up front. We sniff, we sip, we kibitz. John tells us a little bit about the brewery, and sometimes we learn a little bit about brewing. John?
We are drinking Russ's favorite beer of the day. It's sour.
Why
from
do you
the
always
land.
do this at the beginning?
So that you have enough time to get the taste out of your mouth by the end of the day. That's 100% why. We got to lead with. I can't finish with one of these.
You'd
never forgive me.
But you've soured my day.
Right. Well.
See what I did there?
Wah wah.
It doesn't get any better. It isn't going to get any better.
Might as well start laughing now. The jokes don't get any better from here.
Drink more. That's if you're not amused, drink more.
Indeed.
Okay, so we have a sour.
So we have a sour from Nashville, Tennessee. I was going to make some sort of a funny joke about the land of somebody, but I decided I didn't want to come up with one of those.
And this is Southern Grist?
No, this is Barrique. Like barrel with a QUE on the end. Barrique. Out of Nashville. They're fairly new. Super cool story, that some of which I didn't know. They started in like 2018, just the brewer, whose name is Joel Stickrod, which is a great name.
That's a stage name.
Wonderful handle.
That's a stage name. We don't know who he is really.
I have not ever actually met the guy. He's just...
His real name's Bolt Upright.
So, Joel, we love you. We're not making fun of your name, I promise. The beer is always fantastic. They opened, I think the first 2 years or 3 years, maybe, they were open. He was the only employee. It was just him in a super small space, brewing and barrel aging beer. And I think everything they did, maybe still, but I think at the beginning, everything they did went into a barrel.
Is that right?
So it's all blended, different things.
Maybe
most of it sour.
Maybe that's the where Barrique barrel.
I'm assuming their logo is a giant barrel. So
there you have it.
I'm guessing that's where it comes from.
There you have it.
But they, everything I had from them at the beginning was a sour. It's the only things I'd ever seen were sours. And then we started pretty recently seeing some lagers, some different styles from them popping up that have all been really, really good. They had a Czech pale lager, which is what we in the international community call Czech Pilsner, because they don't call it Pilsner really in Czech Republic. They just call it pale lager, or lager, and that's what it is. That's just their beer, so they don't bother calling it Pilsner because they don't have to differentiate it from the rest of the beers.
That's the only beer they have.
Well, it's the beer they made famous.
Right.
But now, man, there's so much good beer happening in the few days I spent in Prague. I was stunned by how many people were making good American-style beers. International, different kinds of beers. I went there thinking I was going to get a good Pilsner and call it a day. But I digress. This is a really neat little beer from them that is a citrus sour aged in honey bourbon barrels. Is what he calls it. I don't know what all that really means. I did taste it the other day.
I think he's trying to dazzle us with bullshit. Is what I think.
Well, I don't know what a honey bourbon barrel would be, unless there was a honey in that barrel first, and then a bourbon went into it, or vice versa, A bourbon went in
Well, the
it.
bourbon
and then,
would have to go
Well,
in
yeah, because it
first.
has to be new charred oak barrels, right?
Right.
So the bourbon would have to go in first. Then maybe a honey went in there after, and then they put the beer in this thing. But this is a neat little beer. This is one of the most unique tasting beers I have ever had, and we put it up into last week, and someone asked me for it and asked me what it was like, and I turned around. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that was up there, because we'd had another Barrique beer before that beer, and we changed it to this one. I didn't realize we had changed it to a new Barrique beer. So I went over there and tasted it, and I was like, whoa, I'm going to have to spend a little time with this one. So here I am, spending a little time with it,
And
with my good buddy Russ.
yeah, and nobody likes to suffer alone. So here I am joining him.
Shall we?
Shall we? Text Miss Willie.
Bang. Oh man, the nose on that is just intoxicating. There's so much fun citrus, like lemony, grapefruity citrus on the front of that.
I'm getting balsamic vinegar.
And then there's that vinegar, and that's the barrel coming through. That's the barrel aging, and
Yeah.
it's like a lacto fermentation that's going to create that acetobacter that it really turns it to vinegar. It's 5.7%, so there's still a fairly good amount of alcohol in there too.
I'm getting the citrus in the back of my
Oh
mouth.
man, the citrus just plays around the whole thing. There's this. Oh man, whoa! It's just activating all my salivary glands now.
Mine too.
Wow, holy smokes! But right till that point, the citrus just plays almost second fiddle to the sour that's going on there. Then the sour just explodes on the end. But now I'm just lingering with like a spritzy kind of grapefruity, almost lemonade-y, citrusy thing on the end that's just lingering with me with that acidity and that tartness.
But in running my tongue over the back of my lips,
Yeah.
I'm getting the honey. I get the honey
Ooh.
there.
Yeah, no, now that you mention it, I started on the back of my teeth because I thought that's where you were going. But yeah, no, 100%, you do. There's a little lingering,
Yeah.
like,
Sweetness.
sweetness.
Little-
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Like
Interesting.
a physical sweetness. That's neat.
That's a busy beer.
Yeah. That is a fun beer.
It's still a sour.
Well, yeah.
But
We found a couple of these that Russ has been able to tolerate. And one of the big ones was Duchess de Bourgogne. And that one carries a big balsamic-y note with a bunch of cherry and more of that dark fruit side of things. This one carries that same balsamic-y note, but with the citrus going on, and it's neat that it brightens up that way. Man, it's still activating my cheeks, and I haven't had a sip in a minute. That is bonkers. I love what Barrique is doing up there. I'm getting ready to be up there for a couple of days. I'm going up to see the Tedeschi Trucks Band, if I'm allowed to say that trademark name. So me and a few buddies are going up there to see the band, and we're going to go visit some breweries while we're there. It's the idea.
Where's the band playing? Do you know offhand?
The amphitheater, something new amphitheater. I want to say Aleph, but that's a distributor. Some amphitheater.
Thought maybe it was Ryman.
No, it'd be cool. I've never seen a show at the Ryman, and I feel like there's a hole in my heart because I haven't.
I saw Little Feet.
Oh yeah, I bet that was fun.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
It
all
was
right.
god awful.
Well,
I mean, it was the only fun part was being in the Ryman.
yeah.
The music was not good.
That's a
Mostly
shame.
they jammed.
Oh, see,
jammed
I
or
could get
talked.
into that. I could get into that.
They jammed or talked.
The talking is not as much fun, but I can get into the jam. But I went to see the Allman Brothers, I don't know how many years ago, with a girl. And we're sitting up on the lawn in Charlotte, at the amphitheater up there.
Right.
And the opening band played, and everything was good. And the they went between sets, and when the Allman Brothers kind of looked like they were about to start taking the stage, I was actually on the phone, and I went, "Oh, I gotta go. Looks like they're about to take the stage." And I went, "Holy smokes! It looks like the whole place is all of a sudden covered in a fog."
I can't find my seat.
And so I sat back down, and I looked at the girl I was with. I was like, "It's just everyone here smoking?" And she goes, "Yeah. If you came to an Allman Brothers show and you didn't do any drugs, you'd just like be bored." So Russ, problem is you just weren't on enough drugs.
Yeah, apparently. Well, I know I couldn't have drank enough to make it okay. No way. But yeah, jeez.
Fair.
Anything else?
I don't know. Let's go visit Barrique, man. Their tasting room is open. Like, great beers. I'm gonna do it in a couple of days.
So damn lucky. See you next time.